But you have fallen, O child, fallen very far. Now you will pay for your father's crimes.
You have touched upon my most painful memory, the thrice-told death of my father, and our whole destiny, that of the famed Labdicids. Oh, our mother's disaster of a marriage, and my father's incestuous intercourse with his ill-fated mother. From such people I, the miserable one, was born. I go to them, accursed, unmarried. Ah, my brother who secured an ill-fated marriage, in your death you have slain me alive.
Your prayers may be reverent, but they are in no way tolerable to those in power. The rage you wished for has ruined you.
Unwept, unloved, unwed, I am led in misery down this final path. No more can I, unhappy girl, behold the sacred eye of the flaming sun. No friend moans in grief, and no tears are wept for my fate.
Who would end their dying song if they knew their final note would be the last? Hurry and take her away as fast as you can to that shadowy tomb as I've ordered you. She'll either die right then and there, or she'll live, entombed in that room. The choice is hers. Our hands are clean as far as this girl is concerned. Her place on this earth is gone.
O tomb, O bridal chamber, O deep dug, everlasting home, the place I go to join my own, the greatest number of whom Persephone has already welcomed among the dead. I am the last of them, and I go most shamefully before my time on earth can properly be spent. But when I go, I cherish the thought that I go dear to my father and dear to you, my mother, and dear to you, my brother, since when each of you died, I washed you with my own hands and adorned you and poured out funeral libations. And now, Polynices, this is my reward for burying you. And yet, in the eyes of the wise, I honored you well. If I were a mother of children, or if my husband rotted away dead, I would never have undertaken this burden without public support. But what law am I saying this for? If my husband had died, I could have found another. Or if I'd lost my first child, another man might have fathered my second. But with my mother and father both sealed away in Hades, I can never have a new brother. For this law, I honored you above all others. But to Creon, I seem to act wrongfully, or to be terribly reckless, dear brother. And now he leads me thus by the hand, without a marriage bed, without a bridal song, receiving no share in marriage or the nurture of children, but in this way, unwept, ill-fated, I come living to the graves of the dead. What holy law did I violate? Why must I, unhappy girl, still look to the gods? Whom should I call my ally? when pious behavior has incurred me the charge of impiety. But if these things please the gods, after my suffering, I will come to know what I have done wrong. If my judges are found guilty, let them suffer no more wrongfully than I have suffered.
I will give her guards reason to weep for their sluggishness.
Oh no, these words are nearly death.
I can't encourage you to hope for a better outcome.
City of my father, land of Thebes, land of the ancient gods, I am led away now without delay. Behold, princes of Thebes, the very last of the royal line. See what things I suffer, and at whose hands, all because I revered reverence.
Destiny has a certain terrible power. Nothing, neither wealth, nor war, nor lofty heights, nor dark sea-tossed ships can ward off its grasp. The sharp-tempered Antigone king, son of Darius, was tempered and shut up by Dionysus' craggy confinement. In such a way did this terror of his madness and brilliance might recede, that man soon met the very same god whom he once pestered in his mania with biting words. For he kept trying to halt the frenzied Bacchantes and the fire of Apollo, provoking the flute-loving muses. In the sea, by the black rocks, the double sea, are the Bosporus and the Thracian city Salmydessus, where city-dwelling Ares observed, on the twin sons of Phineus, a cursed blinding wound from a savage wife, a wound to their round eyes, shattered and screaming for vengeance, inflicted by the edge of her shuttle in her bloody hands.
Lords of Thebes, we've come by a shared journey, two traveling by the eyes of one. Such is life for the blind, living by the hand of a guide.
What news do you bring?
You will know. You just need to listen to the prophet.
I would not stray from your wisdom at a time like the present.
And in doing so, you have brought great prosperity to this city.
Yes, I am a witness to your benefits.
Be wary. You're treading on fate's razor edge.
What do you mean? Your voice is making me tremble.
You will come to know when you understand the signs that I have seen. As I was sitting in my old August seat, a spot for the birds to gather round me, I heard a most unintelligible voice come from them, shrieking with a base and barbarous frenzy. I realized that they were tearing at one another with their talons in slaughter. But the beating of their wings was not meaningless. In fear, I immediately tried lighting a fire on my fully kindled altar. But from my sacrifices, Hephaestus, the god of fire, did not rise, but rather the dripping sacrificial juices of thigh fat melted onto the embers and smoke rose in the air, sputtering. Bile splattered high into the sky as the thigh meat dripped down and the coating of fat fell off. I was made aware of the omen of this perplexing sacrifice by this child here. For he is my guide, just as I am the guide of others. You are the reason that your city is filled with plague. For ill-fated Polynesius, son of Oedipus, lies as a carrion. This is why all of the hearths and altars are filled with vultures and hounds. For no longer do the gods hear our sacrificial prayers, nor do they acknowledge the scented flames of entrail. No longer do the birds shriek their auspicious cries, for they now gorge on the fat of that slain brother. Ponder these things, child. All men make mistakes. But when a man does wrong, he can make amends. Move forward from your mistake, and you'll no longer be unwise or unblessed. But I fear your stubbornness has made you clumsy. Let that man go. Don't kick at his corpse. Come on, we all have good advice for you. You know I speak the truth. So if you hear good words, there's no use in killing a dead man twice. If you hear these good words, the best thing you can do is to learn from it.
Old man, like a whole team of archers taking aim at a single man, I cannot escape the assault of your oracular art. Bandied about by all these fortune tellers, bought and sold like cargo. You're making a good profit, earning your white gold from Sardis, and if you like, even gold from India. But you will not seal that man in a tomb. Not even if the eagles of heaven wanted to swoop down and carry him up for food to Zeus's throne. Even if I could wipe my hands of this pollution, I will never allow that man to be buried, for I know well that no mortal can pollute the gods. And fall, Elder Tiresias, even clever men, but they fall far and in disgrace when they lie, however beautifully, for a little extra gold.
Does anyone know? Does anyone consider?
What old saying is this?
That man's greatest gift is reason.
Yes, as surely as madness is our greatest curse.
Clearly you're suffering from that disease.
I won't trade insults with a prophet.
Yet you have insulted me by saying that I prophesy falsely.
You are a wise prophet. All prophets love money.
And all tyrants love power.
You realize you're talking to your king?
I realize that you're king because of me.
Yes, you are a wise prophet, but you love doing the wrong thing.
Don't make me say the things that are in my heart.
Oh, go on and tell it. Just don't do it for your own benefit.
If you don't listen, no one will benefit.
You should know you won't be paid for my decision.
You should know that you won't live through many more courses of the racing sun before you'll be handing over a corpse sprung from your own flesh. corpse for corpses, for casting down a God of heaven, for lodging a living soul in a shameful grave, for keeping here on earth what belongs to the gods of hell. A corpse unburied, unmourned, unholy. Neither you nor the gods should have any say in these matters, yet you have chosen to do violence. For these crimes, the vengeful executioners, the furies of Hades, lie in wait to ambush you with their vengeful terror. Think I would say any of these things for extra pieces of silver. Won't be long now, for the shrieks of women will be rising from your home. Wild with anger are all those cities whose citizens were butchered and buried by dogs and beasts and buzzards. Creatures that stained those cities and those homes with a polluting stench. While you were here harassing me, I was shooting arrows of anger directly at your heart. Like an archer, I shoot steady arrows. Then you can't outrun. Boy, take me home. Let this fool burden younger men with his anger. May he develop a softer tongue, wiser mind than he has now.
The man, my lord, is left after speaking terrible prophecies. And yet for all the years since hair first grew on my head, once dark, now white, our city has never heard him tell a lie.
I realize, and it fills me with fear. It would be a terrible thing to obey him, but no more terrible than to resist him and curse my soul.
Tread carefully, son of Menecius.
What should I do? Tell me, I'll obey.
Free the buried girl and bury the unburied.
Your advice? To give in to him?
As quickly as possible, for the curses of the gods bring swift ends to foolish men.
Hard to deny the heart. But I can't go on fighting the gods so desperately.
Come on now. Do these things and nothing more.
I will go straight away. Go, go, friends, one and all. Hurry up. Take your axes to the tomb. As I bound her, so too shall I set her free. My mind is changed. I fear it's best in the end to preserve the laws of old.
Oh, many named one, oh, many named one, glory of Cadmus fly, and offspring of thundering Zeus, who protects famous Italy and rules over all, who cleaves the valley of Eleusis, Bacchus.
Dweller of the mother city, Thebes, by the flowing rivers of Ismenus, and the planting of the wild dragon's teeth. Flashing smoke has seen you, beyond the cliffs of the double ridge, where the Coricine nymphs proceed in a frenzy about. See you as well did the Castilian streams, and it is you whom the ivied heights of the mountains of Nyssa and the shores green will vine send as you strive to look upon the streets of Thebes. The immortal words crying themselves out. Of all city, you honor Thebes the most, along with your petrified mother. Now indeed, when the city is infected head to toe with some noxious disease, you hurry to pass over with your cleansing foot, Mount Parnassus, and the sighting straits.
teeth we at Horatius sunrise, and salute you in dance as their master, you Bacchus.
La rumba me está llamando, voy, dile que ya voy, que sé